In a world where most living beings live out a fruitful life of purpose and fun, Akane and Arima strive to become the best at their respective crafts of pretending. The act-off between the two rivals concludes by the end of this episode, but what special surprises are in store beyond our stars Kurakawa Akane that is down to help Aqua yeet Chi-Chi, and the hold me back Arima Kana who is holding herself back to allow others to shine for the betterment of the play. What is it that we took away from this episode the most? Let's discuss. So if you guys haven't been living under a rock, spoilers for Oshinoko Season 2, Episode 19, Trigger. I always like to point out how an episode starts off because the hook or beginning is the telltale sign of what is to come. So the episode starts off going through the 2.5D stage around play in terms of character development. The redeeming jerk, Melt, still sucks at acting but has his moments, his redeeming moments, where he can shine by showing captivating emotions. Arima is still watching on as Akane as Princess Saya is just killing it, while she has decided herself from the previous episode that she will be taking a step back. When the story is recapping the entire play through their character development as actors, you know things are starting to wrap up. Taiki questions Kana's acting of not fully giving it her all from the previous scene with Akane. However, she explains what we have already seen from her throughout the entirety of Oshinoko time and time again. She's taken into consideration the entire play as a whole, from dumbing down her own acting performance and to please whatever vision the producers want, to her just being easier for everyone to work with, as referenced with director Gotanda in episode 1. Giving her that very important lesson. If everyone acted like they are the star of the show, it would cause the performance of the play to clash during scenes, when there should be a balance to what the scene is supposed to convey. So once again, the scene brings out a very important aspect of Arima and how she got into this position in the first place. Her backstory will continually be explored later in the episode, but everything always comes down to some kind of balance. So how will Akane and Aqua, how will they pull out Arima from her stepping back to step back into that spotlight? The star-studded scruffy Taiki is a weirdo that refuses to wear contacts and acts based on mostly movements, when he's like basically half blind acting. Arima points out how top-end actors always have their little quirks. Eventually, he finds a point within the script where he wants to do some ad-libbing with Kana, as their duel against Akane and Aqua is actually in their favor at the moment. And now it's the moment we've all been waiting for, like in the opening credits when Toki went, "No!" It's emotional acting. In the play, Toki faces off against Blade, and we are re-informed about Aqua being an inadequate actor against La La Live Theater's best actor, who shows very well that his emotional acting is top-notch. However, PTSD Aqua isn't about playing in that arena. Soon, we are starting to think more and more about what director Gotanda worked with Aqua and Akane on their acting before the play started. You mean the story purposely skipped in a very important context to build for a possible climactic scene? That's always a great storytelling element. It's just withhold information that will come up later to help build certain moments. In a way, Aqua's philosophy in how he deals with acting is similar to Arima's thought process of why she didn't go all out in her scene. She's taking into account the overall performance of the play, how it comes off to the audience, where both Arima and Kurakawa could clash with their top-end performances. Arima, along with a hint from director Gotanda from the previous episode, that believe that Arima helps the play even more as she plays off well with the other actors. And in that scene against Princess Saya, by Arima taking that step back, that might be the right thing to do in that scene, to allow Akane's character to shine even more. When there's a balance to be made, there's always a contradicting feeling of what you should do. Then Mitano Ryo speaks what Adashino Mei backstage about Aqua's choice of acting with Himekawa. Instead of Aqua trying to compete emotion for emotion with Taiki, he will do the complete opposite to show the contrast, a juxtaposition. It's a creative strategy like in the Sweet Today drama, where Aqua uses the entire scenario of acting with a stage, other actors, lighting to help enhance how his performance may be perceived by the viewers. So Aqua decides to go bare, emotionless, against the lead actor in the play in Taiki as Blade. However, Himekawa is not an actor that will allow such a contrast to take place, as he looks to make this scene stand out as much as possible by bringing Aqua into his style of acting. So then, that is where the ad-libbing begins, and Taiki throws Kana into the arms of the man who wants to yeet his father. The flaming, blushing redhead inside is like, oh, you want me to do all the ad-libbing? And just when Kana was about to make her moment, Aqua grasps Kana's cheeks. I know what you dirty minds were thinking. Toki clasped Tsurugi's cheeks to mansplain to her something like, women don't belong on the battlefield. Kana and the others are shocked by Aqua's quick ad-libbing, but make sure to get back on script as Kana rushes to play off her real emotions with the pretending one. This little moment here shows that Aqua is a lot more talented, like we all already know where his path is as a character. But it's nice to see, hey, Aqua may be in his own head as an actor, but we all know he's going to be a good one by nature of his story and his arc as a character. Aqua leads Kana to the center of the stage to put Kana literally and figuratively as the center of attention, star actor of this moment. Just as Taiki mentioned about acting being about movement, Kana senses what Aqua is doing for her as our bubbly flaming redheaded yapper quells her traumatic past with one being her most natural self, leading her to be the best version of her, as Aqua stated in the previous episode. It's fun seeing the story connect all the dots throughout the season, as this seems like it's going to be one of those big moments for both our major characters. It's building up these character development arcs with Arima, while slyly sneaking in that Aqua, hey, you just pull that out of your ass out of nowhere with the ad-libbing. As these little moments start to build up for this bigger climactic revelation kind of moment, Aqua is leading Kana back to who she really wants to be as an actor. It's a scene that the anime dwells on for a while to show Aqua and Kana's bond and friendship grow over time. Since they met, that they really do know and understand each other. This is part of why Arima is so into Aqua. Relationship is a certain kind of communication. It's a special bond. And you know what they say about girls? You kind of have to read their mind when you're in a relationship with them, or they'll get mad at you. Remember when we were almost ready to ship Peon and Kana? That was quite a hilarious moment. While the Peon and Kana ship would be really funny, but for those that support the Aqua and Kana ship, this is one of the best highlights in support of that relationship. Our MC shining at his best, glowing at letting someone else shine as Tsurugi, as he is allowing a great supporting character like Arima to essentially level up as a character where she can shine brightest and overcome one of these mental barriers that she developed in her childhood and being in the industry. Now, this takes us back to Arima's childhood once again to give us more insight into her relationship with her parents. Like many child entertainers, it's their parents' dream that becomes theirs, as no normal person would intentionally throw their children into a business that may cause them trouble into adulthood and scramble their brains by then. Kana's mother became kind of like this social light of the entertainment industry that brought along her daughter, who naturally and luckily had an affection for this entertainer lifestyle. Where it all went wrong is when her mother became too much like how we judge all those pageant moms that push their daughters behind the scenes to be this star, annoying everyone, which was already coinciding with Kana's waning stardom over time, which led to her father and mother's relationship to deteriorate. They didn't even give the father artwork, and her father replacing her mother for a less annoying and more affectionate one. That ain't crazy. That apparently has way better hygiene. Her mother's projections of her love being tied to a star in Kana caused her to want to seek that parental love by still wanting to be a successful star actor. So not only does she feel a sense of worth by being a good actor for her own selfish needs, it is tied to her mommy issues as well. At this point, we were all wondering what kind of bum parents would leave their young teenager to live on their own to make ends meet. Apparently, Arima's parents. It was when director Gotana gave her some words of wisdom during episode 1 during that small film Aqua and Kana did together as kids. Her snobbish behavior and not being able to get along with others, causing a toxic work environment, is what caused her to change her ways, even if it meant her acting would suffer for the betterment of the whole production going a lot more smoothly. The producers of movies and shows want an easy to work with child actor and not so much about their raw ability as an actor, which led to the previous episode scene between the gullible Kurakawa and the self-defeated violent Arima. In an artistic metaphorical showing of communication through movement, Aqua shines a light on Kana as her role is one that values an outgoing performance that falls in line with someone that can steal the show with their performance, as Tsurugi. So Aqua is basically communicating to her that it is okay for her to shine her brightest because it makes sense for her role to do so anyways. Arima is worried that she isn't playing nicely with the others if she goes all out in her performance. Aqua reassures her and tells her that that is what everyone actually wants, from Kurakawa to the star actor in Himekawa, and he himself wants to see Arima just be Arima, and he will sit back to support her in his own role. Oh really, Aqua? A support, huh? A vengeful one. And you know what happens next in this episode when we reach a boiling point? Climactic animation. Arima shines bright like a diamond. Masaya Kaburagi is reminded of what made Arima Kana a star in the first place. Akane starts fangirling again, and then there's Aqua, who wants to play the downer that he isn't a star like the others, but he can play a mean-ass side character. A vengeful one. And just like that, Blade comes out of nowhere and hacks down Princess Saya. In this scene, Akane basically admits defeat in their act-off as her last scene ends in death. Some of the best scenes are the ones that we already know will happen, yet the goosebumps of the climactic moments never fail to deliver. No matter how you think you feel, you can never stop yourself from experiencing something within the moment. That is this scene of Princess Saya getting yeeted and Aqua as Toki, showing the entire world a new method of his exciting performance as a new challenger, being recognized as a top actor himself, rivaling Akane, Arima, Himekawa. So now there is a contradiction within Aqua's character. In order for him to reach his goal of revenge, he has to be a good actor. He has to keep moving up the ladder to meet all these people in the entertainment industry to hopefully one day get that connection to meet his father. So he can't necessarily just sit back and just be simply ordinary. Finally, we are met with the backstory and flashback of Aqua's training as an actor that has to deal with the whole Ai Hoshino PTSD. Acting is something that is supposed to be fun, but the more fun it is supposed to be, Aqua just turns more emo. The cause of Aqua's panic attacks is guilt. Remember when a child doctor literally couldn't do anything? Of course, I received a fatal attack at first, but that doesn't stop a person from feeling guilty in that traumatizing moment. Aqua feels guilty for enjoying acting because of the PTSD of his mother. Yes, Gotana Taishi knew all along about Ai being Ruby and Aqua's mother. I mean, look at their eyes and how they are when Ai is around. And clearly what Aqua is doing the entire time he spent with director Gotana. And director Gotana, he also has figured out why Aqua is so insistent on wanting to be in the entertainment industry to yeet his father, along with his pretend girlfriend that's totally down to do it with him. Aqua's only purpose of living is to avenge Ai. So there's only one solution to how Aqua can get over his method of acting that involves emotional acting. To remove his sense of guilt, he must never love acting again. Imagine hating your job, but you're so damn good at it. That is this for Aqua's character. If acting is suffering, it can deliver the scene he needs to deliver, like the Predator scene in Sweet Today. This is Oshinoko's MC's shonen moment. It is not to save the world, protect others. It is to overcome his PTSD for one purpose in mind, for his entire existence. To become the best actor over Akane, over Arima, over Himekawa. All of this to overcome his suffering. his trauma, all to lead him to yeet his father. It was fun seeing the story build up for what seems to be Arima's big moment, but just for her character to set up Aqua's biggest moment of the entire series so far. Aqua keeps mentioning that he will be the support to characters like Arima, but when it comes to getting his revenge, he will have to be a star in his own right to gain access to the information he needs so he and his pretend girlfriend can yeet Chi-Chi. We have finally found the key to Aqua's success as an actor, and it will be the key, likely, for the rest of the series. That will lead up to the moment where Aqua may one day face his father to yeet him. Or the story can give us a 180 at the end, and Aqua might be the one where everyone else saves him from himself. Who knows where the story will go, but a mysterious outcome of varying degrees, a super dark yeeting, or one that can end up being happily ever after kind of ending. Who knows? But this episode, along with episode 4 and 5, are the best ones of the season so far and help pick up the pace a bit for the main plot. It's good to know and good to see Aqua's resolve in a huge moment like this. It is one of intense revenge. And you know, this episode really got me thinking that we really do mind tricks to get ourselves to do something that we don't want to do or we just can't do in a normal circumstance. You know, sport and competing is like that way as well, where you kind of like trick yourself that you hate the opponent so you could get more energy out of yourself to perform. This episode was a great lesson in that in Aqua's character, and we get to see his motivation, his resolve, and how this moment elevated him into being a main character, as he really has been kind of a side character while all these other characters go through so much more. So it's great to see Aqua's character be a lesson in kind of like being good at your job but hating it. So it's important to realize what makes you tick and what you need to do mentally to get around certain hurdles to accomplish what you need to accomplish. So the previous episode already led us to what Arima's outcome was eventually gonna be. We knew at some point she's gonna perform. She's gonna perform at her best. And we knew that there was a contrast between how Akane does her acting and Arima's, that they have different philosophies in their acting by nature of themselves being in the entertainment industry and what they needed to overcome to make the overall of the play, the show, the movie work. So it was good to see from Arima's standpoint that sometimes it's okay to just let loose and actually go all out and not have to dumb down her acting performance to someone like Milk. So the highlight of this episode is clearly figuring out what Aqua's resolve is and how far he's willing to go to yeet Chi-Chi. So yeah guys, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. I'm pretty sure everyone felt really good about this episode, probably being the best of the season, since it really wrapped up Aqua's character and how seriously he is about his revenge. So yeah guys, let me know what you guys think. I would love to know in the comments below. And do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakusen.com. And I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.